Hey, what's up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc the Emo, and this is Seek the Geek Videos. And I know, this is usually the time of the video where I come out with a little stop motion skit, a little pizzazz, something. But unfortunately, during cleaning, one of my roommates has misplaced my tripod. It's gone. It's missing. It's somewhere around here. I just haven't been able to find it yet. And this video's already a little bit past the deadline I want to release it at. And everything's basically done with it except for a stop motion, so I want to get out to you guys anyway. I also want to talk about how in this video I talk about doing kind of a mixture between a 12 Days of Christmas and what Hasbro did, because I was originally going to do a 12 Days of Christmas, then Hasbro released their favorite figures from each price point. So since I was going to do my favorite figures of the year anyway, I'm kind of mixing the two with the exception of this video because I don't have any core classes from this year. But I will still be planning on doing that. I'm planning on getting all those videos out before New Year's. It probably won't be 12 videos like I was originally hoping. Probably between 6 to 12 is my goal. Again, probably release before New Year's is my hope. And I'll probably get a stop motion in for this little guy at some point. Maybe fit him in one of the stop motions of the future videos. But until then, I'll stop talking and let you watch the review and character breakdown of this core class Bomb Burst. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video. What is up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc the Emo, the collector fiend that runs this scene, and today we'll be doing another Transform review. It is the month of December, and we are getting closer and closer to Christmas, and I wanted to do kind of like a 12 Days of Christmas kind of thing, where I review like my favorite characters throughout the year, and then Hasbro posted that live stream where they wanted to go through their favorite characters from different price points. So I thought about mixing the two, you know, doing my favorite things of the year, but I'm going to try to get in each class size, each core class, deluxe class, whatever. With that being said, though, I do not own any core classes from 2023. None of them really appeal to me. So I will choose my favorite core class of the year from last year. So when I say my favorite core class of 2023, I'm fully aware that this came out in 2022. And today we'll be reviewing with my probably number one favorite core to come out of 2023. Maybe Daniel Lizicki Daniel Witwicky Exosuit. That was good, but this one, we have Legacy Evolution Core Class Pretender Bomb Burst, and oh my gosh, it's a neat little figure. I feel, yeah, there's a lot to talk about this character. I did some research, looked through 3 different websites to look at some of its background, so I guess let's get into Bomb Burst's history, shall we? Bomb Burst was in a group of 6 Decepticons to be experimented on to become Pretenders. He's kind of like a vampire type Transformer, enjoys hunting Autobots alone in perfect silence. He snatches them into the dark, and with his specialized fangs, he drains their energy, and with the more energy he drains, the stronger he gets. He has a hovercraft mode, 2 VTOLs, as you see there. It moves in almost near silence and has 2 dual lasers, and he is most powerful in his shell. His Pretender shell's touch can cause a rust rash on contact. He has serrated fangs that pierce armor, and he has a corrosive slime shooter. He can't really relate socially and feels more like a predator than a soldier.
just likes hunting. He doesn't feel like he's in a war. He feels like he's in a hunting ground. He was created by Scorponok on a research lab on Earth, perfecting the Pretender shells using synthoplasmic chamber constructed by him and Verath. He appeared in the Marvel and IDW comics and appeared in Super God Master Force. His toy came out between 1988 and 1989 is when he was first appeared in toy and in the show. And he appeared in the comics in the early to mid 1990s. I tried to find information on Bombburst before he became Bombburst since he was a volunteer, but I couldn't find anything, no name, no nothing. But if that information is out there and someone knows it, or someone has a link to a page or something, feel free to put it in the comments down below. I'd love to learn more. Man, there's a lot to talk about. So, I guess at first, let's just take a look at the toy first, and we'll go from there. So here we have him in his hovercraft mode, his little jet mode, his VTOL mode, his goblin glider. That's how I display him. I'll have another bot standing on him, using him as a little glider. There's not a lot to talk about. It's a small mode. You know, it looks cool. It's blue. It has that retro feel to it. Before we gain down comparisons, we'll talk about the toy a little bit more. Well, I don't have the box, and the box didn't necessarily say whether it was comic universe, IDW universe, whatever. And in the IDW universe, he didn't have a shell, so it makes sense to kind of make it more IDW. But when they designed him, they wanted to base it off his Super God Master Force, or his G1 appearance. So they mixed his robot mode and his shell. For those who are not familiar with what a Pretender is, Pretenders was a toy line that came out, like I said, in 1988 to 1989-ish, I believe is what I have in my notes. Yes. And they were kind of an experimental, like extra stealthy. Like, they wanted to hide their robot mode. They wanted to hide their vehicle mode and whatnot in a Pretender shell. Although I guess they're Pretenders as monsters, so you know they're not necessarily hiding too well. But it was supposed to give them a shell that concealed their true, like, oh, are these monsters? The whole time we thought we were fighting monsters, they're really Transformers. And like I said, it says the shells have capabilities. Since this does not have the shell, you could imagine him with all those abilities still, or whatnot, despite his, stature, his small size. But I personally enjoy it. Not that I wouldn't enjoy it if it came with a robot and a shell, but I'm going to take my robot and be displaying it outside of the shell all the time anyway. So just kind of mixing the two designs I thought was kind of a good way to go, and it was a way to save money. So I think it worked out well. But that is my personal opinion, to each their own, and I know some people very much would prefer if it had a shell, which I understand why. So I guess with nothing else to do to talk about this figure, we could look into some comparisons and we'll go on from there. So, I'll compare him to a random group of characters. We have, here he is compared to Exosuit Daniel, or Spike. I think it's supposed to be Spike. And here he is next to a cassette, just to kind of show his size there. Next we have a Deluxe. We'll put him next to Beachcomber, a Voyager. One other character, well, Not the one other character. I have other pretenders. I just might do a review following the pretenders, so I'll just kind of wait on showing some of them. I do have a Siege Double Dealer, though, who I believe appeared in Super God Master. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about it. It's a core class. It's one of my favorite core. Well, it is my favorite core class of the year. I'm sorry about that little cutoff. I was having a little bit of a technical issue. Where was I? Yes, I was talking about why I am choosing Bomb Burst specifically to be my favorite core class of 2023. Why I feel that he deserves that spot on the roster. Well, it all comes down to I think he's unique. I think it's cool. It's a character that I didn't know a whole lot about. Like, I knew a little bit about, but I guess that his character wasn't as talked about until like the comic books. I didn't get a chance to get all those original Marvel comics. I read some of them, but not really anything. I'm a fan of just the retro look of the jet. It's very based off that toy jet, which I'll try to put a picture of like right here. Zim, what are you doing? Zim, that child. Where was I? Yes, it's a retro look, and I like it. Like I said, I'll try to put the picture over there. So you could definitely see the design cues, and it just, I don't know, it's unique. Maybe it's just because like it's the bat part of it. I just like the animal, like monster mixed in with a robot. As someone who was a Beast Wars fan primarily as a kid, I just like those beast-like designs. I like that monster look. And these new pretenders, they're unique. They have a mixture of that G1. They have a mixture of their IDW selves, and they just put it in a nice, sweet harmony. That being said, I am still going to try to give it a review. And for those, if this might be your first time watching the channel, I do a 5-star review based off their vehicle modes and based off their robot modes. And I don't base these off personal opinion necessarily. I base it off functionality, paint use. Do I feel that we got what we were going to get out of the budget? You know, the actual engineering part of it. I try to judge off that. I rated a 3 out of 5-star vehicle mode, despite it being my favorite core class of the year. I realized that it's a low budget. There was not a whole lot going on with any of these core figures. I put it all down to, it looks good right here. And then when you get to the back, it's a little messy. You could see the crossbar, you could just see the ball joints. Like, this is kind of messy. They didn't necessarily have like a panel to extend or just plop down or whatever, which again, it is a lower class budget, but I'm still putting that to accountability. 2, these don't really lock into place. They have a little tab and a little notch that kind of like suggests a place, but they don't tab in securely. I'm not sure if that's just a QC issue or if they're all like that, but it is something worth mentioning. I personally enjoy the retro look of it, and so I like giving it that 3-star things. And if you don't like the retro look, if you don't know what this character is, I understand if you just want to throw it out like, man, that thing's trash. But I like it. I like it a lot. Let's get down to transformation. With these core class figures, I won't have to do the whole freaking speed up thing, because it's pretty simple. First you want to take, well, you don't have to take these off, but I take them off. Oh, it's for me. Bring the arms out, bring the legs, and stand them up. Give him little twists. Give him his feet. It's always stuck in my head, and I never know where it's coming from. Give it a twist. Twist it. This does not happen. Just today, for some reason, I can't figure it out, and I keep popping this thing off today. I don't know why. But here we have him in his general mode right there. Take these out of the way, and I'll get into these a little bit. And he looks cool. He looks cute. Look at that. Guy's got a little bat nose. Nice claws. Freaking the golden eyes. Forgot to talk about this in robot mode. This is another reason I kind of gave it a little bit of a low rating, is because of this paint. When he is transformed, these are folded up like that, and this becomes the bottom of his vehicle mode. Well, because of the type of paint it is, I don't want to say it's die-cast paint, but kind of has that feeling of die-cast paint. It chips. I don't have any chips on it because I've just been careful with it, but you know, it's the type of paint that will chip. I usually don't have them in his vehicle mode unless I have some type of fabric underneath, just because I don't want it to scrape that off, because then you have him robot mode and he has dirty knees. Weapons, again, I had one. It looked like it. I'll try to put a little picture right there. It looked like that. It looked like that, and there's the box art too. I'll try to put a picture of that in. But the ones I do have, because that other one was small, I ended up getting lost, unfortunately. I have his wings, / axes, / guns, or slime shooters. It really depends on how, you know, how your imagination works. You can hold it as his X if you wish. You can have one as a gun if you wish. Give him that slash and blast. I like having the wings facing out, so I'll switch them up and do that. I think that looks cool. Got down face to face with him. All right. Yeah, he looks cool. You can, like I was saying, you can have. This is how I usually display him. You can have these guns right there, but you can give them a wing pack in a way. If you take this and you just drop it down like that, you can take these and take this port that's in there and tab it over that. And that will give him kind of his like little wing pack, if that's something you want to do. But it also makes him have just a really bad backpack and makes him a little top heavy, so you kind of have to stand him at an angle. But it is doable to get him to stand like that, if you wish. Do some comparisons real quick. Bring in our same random lot of figures. So here he is next to Rumble and to Core Exosuit Daniel or Spike, really depending on how you want. In my mind, it would be Spike, but I don't remember if it was Exosuit Spike or Exosuit Daniel, because I don't have the box. So you can just kind of see he's a little tall for a Core. A little taller than him. He's pretty beefy for a Core. Here he is next to Deluxe Beachcomber, the Mini Bot. Here he is with a Voyager, and at this point now you have now he's getting pretty big. And then here he is with our leader. I think this was a leader. Or Lear Double Dealer. What else is there to say? Well, besides of a toy, like his design comes from mixing his robot mode with his animation model, well, his shell, like his robot and his shell, mixing it together, which I think it turned out well. He appeared in the Marvel Comics. He appeared in IDW, which is kind of where I think they got this concept, because in IDW they didn't have the shells. Yeah, I read at least. Maybe there was one that they had the shells, because you know how the IDW books were. They're always jumping around. As far as I know, he didn't have a shell in the IDW comics. So, with his robot mode, I give it 5 stars. I know. That's big. But all things considered, for a core class, there wasn't a whole lot going to happen with him anyway. Transformation isn't the most integrate as far as most core classes go. There are some core classes that have you know, a little bit more of a complex transformation. Like this guy got a pretty good transformation, but he looks cool, and I really like that look. And the fact that they were able to pull off the look they were going for within the budget that they had was successful. The vehicle mode had a little bit of issues. The back didn't look the best, arms didn't tab in, but those are minor nitpicks to overall a very satisfying core figure, and my favorite core figure of the year, and probably the only one I'm going to do a review on for this roster or 12 Days of Christmas combination video. With all of that being said, and nothing left to talk about, this is Havoc the Emo saying, remember, there is nothing wrong with being a geek as long as you're feeling free and you're feeling you. Do what you want to do. It's your life, it's your money. Don't let anybody tell you that you are too old to play, collect, or have fun.